And we begin with that unprecedented move, something we have never seen before. A letter published late today by the New York Times, written by someone inside the Trump administration, an anonymous senior official describing what it's like inside the White House, inside this administration, saying, "I work for the president, but like-minded colleagues and I have vowed to thwart part of the president's agenda and his worst inclinations." The senior official writing in that letter, "We know what is happening," adding, quote, "There is a quiet resistance within the administration to put country first." Tonight, the president tweeting just moments ago a one-word question: treason? And it all comes 24 hours after Bob Woodward's bombshell book. ABC's chief White House correspondent Jonathan Karl leading us off.
In his call with Bob Woodward, Donald Trump gave a rave review of his performance as president.
Nobody's ever done a better job than I'm doing as president, that I can tell you.
But now, an historic act of defiance from somebody who works for the president. In an op-ed published in the New York Times, an unnamed senior administration official writes, "I work for the president, but like-minded colleagues and I have vowed to thwart parts of his agenda and his worst inclinations." The official paints a grim scene. It's not just that the special counsel looms large, he writes, or that the country is bitterly divided over Mr. Trump's leadership. The dilemma, which he does not fully grasp, is that many of the senior officials in his own administration are working diligently from within to frustrate parts of his agenda and his worst inclinations. "We believe our first duty is to the country, and the president continues to act in a manner that is detrimental to the health of our republic. The root of the problem is the president's immorality." The unnamed official offers a devastating portrayal of Trump, the president. The president's leadership style is impetuous, adversarial, petty, and ineffective. Senior officials will privately admit their daily disbelief at the commander-in-chief's comments and actions. Meetings with him veer off topic and off the rails. He engages in repetitive rants, and his impulsiveness results in half-baked, ill-informed, and occasionally reckless decisions that have to be walked back. The writer says the president has betrayed values long held by Republicans, particularly in his approach to foreign policy. President Trump shows a preference for autocrats and dictators, such as Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong-un, and displays little genuine appreciation for the ties that bind us to allied, like-minded nations. The official says there are two forces in the Trump presidency: the president himself and the aides working quietly to block his actions. "This isn't the work of the so-called deep state," he writes. "It's the work of the steady state." The bigger concern is not what Mr. Trump has done to the presidency, but rather what we as a nation have allowed him to do to us. We have sunk low with him and allowed our discourse to be stripped of civility. The op-ed contends top administration officials are trying to save the country from the president they serve. Americans should know there are adults in the room. We fully recognize what is happening, and we are trying to do what's right even when Donald Trump won't. There is a quiet resistance within the administration of people choosing to put country first. Today, the president blasted the anonymous official as, quote, gutless.
Nobody has ever done in less than a 2-year period what we've done. So when you tell me about some anonymous source within the administration, probably who's failing and probably here for all the wrong reasons, no. And the New York Times is failing. If I weren't here, I believe the New York Times probably wouldn't even exist. And someday...
This devastating attack from within comes just 24 hours after a first look at a Bob Woodward book that paints a similar portrait, talking about a, quote, administrative coup d'etat by the president's own top advisors. The book even describes one top aide swiping a sensitive document off the president's desk, believing the president wouldn't even know it. The official quoted saying, "Got to protect the country." The book describes Defense Secretary Jim Mattis as exasperated after Trump repeatedly questioned the cost of America's large military presence on the Korean Peninsula. Woodward says Mattis bluntly told the president, "We're doing this in order to prevent World War III." According to Woodward, Mattis later told close associates that the president had the understanding of a 5th or 6th grader. Mattis denied using such contemptuous words, and the president today called Woodward's book a piece of fiction.
The book means nothing. It's a work of fiction. If you look back at Woodward's past, he had the same problem with other presidents. He likes to get publicity, sell some books.
The president reacting to that book, now reacting to this letter in the New York Times. Let's get right to John Karl, live at the White House tonight. And John, this was an extraordinary move by the New York Times to publish this letter by someone they describe as a senior administration official, particularly because the person didn't sign their name. The writer remains anonymous tonight. I know our team reached out to the Times late today to find out what went into their decision making here. How are they explaining their decision tonight?
Well, the Times says that this official wanted to remain anonymous, and they believed that publishing the essay anonymously was, quote, the only way to deliver an important perspective to our audience. But as you pointed out, the president is suggesting this is treason, and the White House is saying that whoever this official is should resign immediately.
John
David?
Karl, live at the White House, leading us off.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.